Now, if you're having trouble hitting your macros, so you have your blueprint set up, you have your ideal day, your favorite foods, you've circled them, you've studied the approved foods list, you know how your nutrition facts hit into your macros, and you're ready to go, right? But you're still having a little bit of trouble. Maybe you're a busy person, you're on the go all the time, so I get these comments like I'm having a hard time hitting protein, I'm having a hard time hitting net carbohydrates, I'm having a hard time hitting total calories, whatever, even though I don't want you tracking calories, I just want you tracking macros, right? I created the perfect paleo powder. This is my line of nutritional powders, and I created them for a reason. I created them for convenience. I have fat loss, I have a post-workout, I have a pre-workout, I have a digest and rest. But here's the other mistake that people make is these are marketing terms. I run a nutrition company. I have to market products. I put specific ingredients in all of those things. But the beauty about my products is all of my foods are whole foods. So you can use them for whatever they want, whatever you want. Sure, in certain combinations, whole coffee bean extract, 6 grams of branched chain amino acids, coconut palm sugar, and vitamin B is going to give you a lot of energy to go to the gym, hence pre-workout. But it's still whole foods, it's good for everybody. It's literally good for every human. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make it tricky. That's the problem. Someone's like, well, I'm not gonna buy the post-workout powder. If you're having trouble hitting your protein or hitting your net carbs, buy the post-workout. The post-workout has 24 grams of protein per serving and 11 grams of net carbs. Now, I believe only 4 of those grams are actual sugar. It's all complex carbohydrates like sweet potato powder. There's sweet potato powder in the post-workout. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to buy a post-workout. This is a fantastic meal replacement option. All of these powders are whole foods. There's 20 plus whole foods in these 4 formulas. And I invented them because they work like a meal, right? The ridiculous thing about protein powders, the concept of protein powder as we know it, is like if you get collagen powder, it's 10 grams of protein. You will never find that in nature, ever. You'll never find pure protein. If you find animal protein, it's gonna be surrounded by fat. If you find plant protein, it's gonna be surrounded by carbohydrates. Meals have multiple macronutrients. Fat, protein, carbohydrates, or some combination of the 3 or 2 or whatever. It's never one, right? It's never one. If you get MCT oil, it's one because it's processed by humans. It's stripped out of its pure form, you know? So all of my nutritional powders are designed to work like meals. That's why I created them. They're meant for you to hit your macros in an easy way. See what I'm saying? That's what you want. That's what you want these for. So it has 20 plus ingredients, works like a meal in your body, has protein, fat, complex carbohydrates, probiotics, prebiotics, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, MCT oil is in it, vitamins, minerals. It has it all literally. That's what the perfect paleo powder is. The perfect paleo powder is the most nutrient dense, most beneficial nutritional powder in the world, period. That's what it is. So if you're having trouble with any of your macros, especially protein or net carbohydrates, explore the ingredients, explore the nutrition facts of those powders, use them to hit your macros. Use my products to hit your macros. So a great question that I got today, a great question that I got today is how much wiggle room do you have on these macros? Let's do this. Wiggle, this is a wiggle. How much wiggle room do you have in your macros? Well, I wanna be clear on this. 99.9% of you come to me and you have fat to lose. For some of you, it's a tremendous amount of fat. For some of you, it's a little bit of fat. But what happens is you're trying to lose fat. I don't even use the term lose weight because I hate it. Weight tells you nothing. I want you to lose fat. That's what I want you to do, right? So the goal is to lose fat. Now to do that, I set up your macronutrients perfectly, and I do build in a caloric deficit. We're not gonna get started on the calories debate, calories in, calories out, none of that. I like to get you fast results. So a caloric deficit is built in, okay? So I want you to understand that the caloric deficit is built in. So that means if you want to hit your macros or you want to know what kind of wiggle room you have with hitting your macros, don't go under. I would say you have a 10 to 20%, let's say 10 to 20%, sorry, I know that's really little, 10 to 20% up. You can go 10 to 20% above your macros, but I don't like to see you go under. Why? Because under eating is tremendously bad for you. It's tremendously bad for your hormone balance, especially in women, right? I don't want you under eating. Watch AMA number 25, Fasting Facts from Fat Loss to Longevity. Watch that AMA where I tell you the dangers of chronic undereating. So remember, when you get custom macros, if your goal is fat loss, unless your goal is muscle gain, in which I will have you at a caloric surplus, but if your goal is fat loss, you're gonna be at a caloric deficit. So I don't want you going under your macros. Hit those macros, hit all of them, or go over them, literally. Keep it around 10% if you're gonna go over. Don't always go over, don't make it a chronic thing. Try to hit them dead on, right? But I don't want you going under. So a lot of people also ask me about meal plans and recipes. I'm gonna touch on this briefly because I've beaten it to death in other AMAs, and I am actively working on a Clovis cookbook for you that only uses approved foods and is an actual cookbook that you can follow. I'm working on that right now because I have no choice at this point. I can't win this argument even though my way is the correct way. And I'm gonna explain that to you right now. I do not find meal plans or recipes to be beneficial. I completely understand why people want them, but here's the thing. It's like moving to a new city and for the next 10 years, using your GPS on every single drive, even the drives that you repeat over and over and over and over. Only using your GPS and never looking up from the GPS, right? That's what it's like. You have to reprogram your brain and learn how to use food. You have to. There's not always gonna be a cookbook, you know? So again, I'm gonna do this for you guys because I love you, but if you follow your GPS blindly, you're never gonna learn the city. I want to reestablish a new relationship with food for you. I'm trying to reprogram your thinking so you always know how to take approved foods and create meals, okay? Meal plans is just, it's too easy, and then you're gonna get in a habit of thinking that every time you cook, you need a recipe, and then you're gonna be in an Airbnb in some town somewhere, and there's gonna be pots and pans, and you're gonna go, I don't have a recipe. I gotta go to Subway. You know, I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, but trust me, I promise you, I've worked with over 500 people now on a one-to-one basis. It's hilarious. Not hilarious, it's sad. It's sad the way that people will derail themselves because of stuff like this. Well, I have nothing to cook. If you have a house full of approved foods, you always have stuff to cook. Always, 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 and I want to train you to do that, right? So the other things I'm gonna touch on briefly is fasting. If you're interested in fasting as part of your paid membership, we can talk about that. I can do one-on-one combos about alternative methods for speeding up results. You get weekly check-ins with me for the first 30 days, right? I think it's really important that you have those weekly check-ins. Recharging comes when you want to redo your custom macros, things like that. What about fitness? I get a lot of questions about fitness. I'm obviously not anti-fitness. I mean, I love fitness, kind of a meathead, right? So, but most of you come to me in a position where you are not healthy enough for exercise. You're not even healthy enough for jogging, right? And that's just the harsh truth, right? So a lot of you, when you come to me, if you're healthy enough for fitness, we'll set up a regimen for you. If you're overweight, you will not be doing any intense exercise for your first 30 days. We can reassess after that because fitness has exactly nothing to do with fat loss. Fitness has nothing to do with fat loss. Watch my AMA, fitness for fat loss or not, right? Once you join, I'll walk you through that little bomb I just dropped if you've never heard that before, but I promise you fat loss and fitness do not go hand in hand. So how can I sum this up, right? This is the big question that I get that I don't know how to answer, right? People want me to sum up Clovis, or they ask me to give them the elevator pitch or whatever. The problem is Clovis is a giant curation. I've just gone over that with you. The other problem is 99.9% of people who ask me to explain what Clovis is will have exactly no idea what I'm talking about. That's the difficult part. Don't want to sound like a jerk. I don't want to sound arrogant, right? But they're simply not going to know what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example. If I had to explain to you what Clovis is, it is a paleo, low carb, low lectin, anti-inflammatory, microbiome friendly, toxin free, chemical free, intermittent fasting, sustainable fitness, minimum effective dose, nutrient density, science backed, love spreading biohackers. That's what Clovis is. I mean, it's crazy. That's Clovis. I literally had to create my own category. That's it. It takes a long ass time to say. It's a pain in the butt, right? Here's the thing. I don't owe society anything. I don't know your parents' shit. I don't know your best friend's shit. People come to me all the time. My friend said this, Justin. What do you say to that? My mom said that eating fat will give you cholesterol, Justin. What do you say to that? My doctor told me that you're crazy, Justin. What do you say to that? I say, I don't give a shit. I don't know these people and I don't care what they think about me. Period. I don't know. I owe them nothing. I don't have to put myself or my company or my protocol into a box, an abstract category or a camp, because other people like titles and like to neatly organize things in their perfect little camps. I'm not in a camp, okay? It's crazy. I'm not in a camp. I'm not gonna put myself in a camp because somebody wants me to. That's what it is. That's what Clovis is. Don't care what anybody thinks about it. You shouldn't care what anybody thinks about it either. It is literally in our manifesto that you shouldn't care what other people think. Clovis is optimal living. Yes, fantastic, but on it has total human optimization. It's a little close. It's all about slogans, right? What is Clovis? Building a healthy life together. This is community. I'm not judgmental. I'm not dogmatic. I said that in the beginning. It's not dogmatic. It's not judgmental. It's completely open-minded. It's all about love and learning. Learn, unlearn, relearn. Building a healthy life together. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that literally Clovis underneath the logo says building a healthy life together. That's what this is, guys. That's what you're a part of. Call it a movement. Let's call it a movement, right? Yeah, wait till Clovis is a thing. Wait till you say Clovis and it puts an image in the mind the same way that Paleo puts an image in the mind or Keto puts an image in the mind. If you guys help me spread this, then that's exactly what's gonna happen. If you guys become promoters of Clovis, that's gonna happen. We'll turn Clovis into a household name. It's gonna be amazing, right? Yes, you understood it now. That's fantastic. Clovis community is very accepting. Yes, I know. I love them. Starts with your diet, then causes life changes, then causes personal growth. That's a really good point. I want to talk about that. If you guys are an I Am Clovis, go read the books in the mind section of the resources section. In the mindset section, right? Read about mindset. That's all this is. None of this is possible without a mindset change. Free your mind and the rest will follow. That's really important. This is a mindset shift, right? That's really what it is.